Hello, and welcome back to Minotaur Hotel. I was scared for a minute because I updated the game, and suddenly my save file wouldn't load. It's a good thing I rotate my saves, guys, because the save I made here last time would not load. But the previous part save I could load and just skip to this point, so just, a lesson to all. Rotating your saves is important. Conversation begins to wander as everyone settles into open, easy camaraderie. Yeah. You, Asterion, and Themba put your heads together on how exactly to expand your network. The Grootslang asks, Grootslang? I googled this last time, didn't I? Asks Coda to for occasional details on where he's been, who he's asked what, which leads his pursued. He's pursued over the years. Yes, this is. Oh, it's gonna be one of those episodes, guys. It's gonna be one of those episodes. And by that I mean every episode. And Kota's tongue loosened and smile confident. Loosened and smile confident. Okay. Is happy to answer. Okay, I get it. Okay. Kembish, meanwhile, has turned to ask Robert a few questions. Perhaps he is curious about the esoteric knowledge the demon possesses. Though by the look of the boar's face, half of the answers fly directly over his head. A sudden sound comes from the lobby, a small crash, followed by a trio of piping, reedy voices. Kota and Luke jump up from their seats. The pair share a look with one another, leading out to investigate what trouble the boys have gotten themselves into. Asterion takes advantage of the distraction to lean closer to Themba.
This whole situation made me think of your father.
The Grootsling's face remains stone still, save for a shift of his ears.
I do not believe he would have stayed quiet for a moment. I am...
Oh god, what voice did I use for Themba? It's been a hot minute.
I am more open-minded than he is. Besides, Koda allegedly is a former god, and that is far easier to deal with.
Themba Themba's gaze wandered towards you. His eyes have a soft wetness to them. His half-open mouth struggled to decide what to say and what to hide.
Grootslings do not get along with the gods, Mr. Josh. We would sleep better if we knew for sure that, sure they were all gone for good. Still, we have a mission, and that's that. But I better not tell any of this to Dad. He would have a stroke if he knew.
Asterion chuckles, in a way that sounds unfamiliar, almost jarring, like a submerged tiger leaping out of the river.
Our fine establishment, the one and only Minotaur Hotel, hosting a deity, one blessed with the finest divine light.
Themba's trunk tenses, and then he huffs.
I can deal with that. Koda has been good to you, hasn't he? He is a good man. And when we find Onsen... 2 gods. Folk my. Do you want to kill Dad that badly? We can keep a secret. Let us tell him that Kota and Onsen are just regular mythicals. 2 mundane dragons. Yes. Just 2 good friends. No need to go that far. You may not remember, but your father and I are no strangers to these things. In fact, did I ever tell you about, what was her name again? Arenia. I hope that's her name. She hated the gods and loved Sapo, and you know what that means. There are so many stories I could tell.
Then the Kobold trio returns, pleading with Asterion to break out his lyre and play a tune. Until that is, Luke calls for the boys' attention with a beak-spitting grin. With beak-splitting? Yeah. An idea has struck the Griffin, a harebrained scheme which will likely end in tears for all involved, and he is in need of willing cohorts. You watch the show alongside your blue-scaled You all are so lucky I can't find my phone. Wait, I have Google. Wait, I have like a real Google. I have a computer in front of me. It's compatriot, right? Is that how it's pronounced? Compatriot?
Compatriot.
Yes, okay. Compatriot. I knew what the word was. I just can't pronounce tonight. I can't read ever. You know how it is. Almost able to feel the warmth of his placid, gentle expression. Quite the little family, huh? Coda smiles. For the first time since you met him, you can see an open-hearted lack of reservation on his unlined face. The old dragon looks centuries younger.
Yes.
Time demands his due. One by one, your employees, save for Coda, head off to complete their duties, daily tasks. Yes, you rise with Asterion, bid the dragon farewell for now, and start your half day of work as well. Morning becomes afternoon. Coda's story spreads among the other staff members and then the human guests. From time to time, as you poke your head into the lounge to check up on the dragon, you catch sight of them conversing with him, offering their sympathies and support. Some of the more short-term guests even offer their assistance, pleading their eyes and ears in the world outside towards the search of Onsen. During the pre-dinner lull, you find Kota and Themba speaking with a middle-aged guest dressed in a shabby suit and hat. Conversation between the Groatslang and the human is lively and animated. Kota looks for one of the others, a hope shining in his eyes. Let's check in on the R&D team. Your team can complete a project. Do you want to complete your research or continue working towards something else? Create a swimming pool? You find the R&D team and one of the kobolds celebrating around one of the bedrock tables and a pile of stacked contracts. Yes. Asterion was poring over the documents, waiting for you to arrive. After a short congratulatory speech to the team, Asterion approaches you with the beaming kobold mimicking his steep, wide gait.
You know, human ingenuity never ceases to amaze me.
What do you mean?
After some back and forth, it was agreed that a vanishing edge pool would be the best choice. But I had never heard of such a thing. But I only need to research it for a minute before I gladly agreed. It is done now. It was not easy, but it is ready. It involved researching what materials are used today in building pools, picking the place and area, designing it, mapping out the pipes. This was far harder than the gym. You would assume that summoning the machine would be difficult, but we found schematics on the internet. Translating them to the hotel's format was not too bad. And we just brought a few of them, too. That was even easier. But this pool was specifically designed for us, and that took a lot of effort. We even made some artificial plants as decoration. We transformed the whole area into a verdant oasis. All that remains now is to test the pool itself, and our staff seems quite eager to tackle this task. Even Coda refused to miss out on the opportunity.
I assume we're joining them as well?
Naturally.
Okay. Speaking of eager, Luke is ready for action the moment he steps onto the deck. Rather than following the rest of the staff towards the changing room, he pulls off his shirt and pants in one swift, rehearsed motion right there in public. His thrice-cursed American flag Speedo revealed once more unto the world. The Griffin wastes no time leaping into the pool with a cry of, "Cannonball!" Okay, I'm bad at shouting. I don't know. Coda can only sigh as he picks up after Luke, placing the pile of discarded clothing well away from the water of the nearby sun lounger. Yes.
Just when I thought I'd never have to see that thing again. Though, I suppose we should be grateful he's wearing anything at all.
Yeah. The dragon clears his throat, banishing that image from both our minds.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I shall slip into something more comfortable too.
Yeah. Left alone, you and Asterion approach the edge of the pool together. Do you know how to swim, Asterion? Oh.
Of course! My home was close to the sea, not that anywhere in Crete is particularly far from it.
You dip a foot in, wiggling your toes and rolling your ankles. It feels just right, refreshing, but not as cold as to make you flinch from the sudden shift in temperature. Asterion mimics you with his left hoof, dipping it into the lapping waters. That's what it says. Oh god. Is your hoof sensitive enough to feel how cold it is?
Not as sensitive as my fingers, no, but I can get an approximation.
The Minotaur rolls his pants and sits at the edge of the water, submerging both hooves up to his calves. He leans back, supporting himself with his arms, flicking his ears and swishing his tail. Would you like to hop in too?
Perhaps.
Luke drifts by, his wings performing a sluggish underwater backstroke while he floats belly up, exposing the bulge in his skimpy swimwear to the vast sky above.
Is that the average attire for swimming in this age?
They're common enough.
The swimming suits I saw in the motion picture with Jean were completely different. They covered their upper body as well.
You mean the old-timey, striped ones?
Indeed. Judging by what the others are wearing, I suppose they would be considered old-timey. It is a shame. I sometimes wonder what they would be like to swim in.
You know what? You might look cute in one of those, actually.
You believe it would be becoming? Thank you, Mr. Josh. However, I think that I would prefer to fit with the rest of the staff. Perhaps I should wear something more modern then. What would you propose?
You take another look at the shameless griffin floating by, and that is enough to spark an idea. Let's go into the changing room, shall we? And next to the path back to the hotel sits a squat building. A door on either end of the the facade. Yes. Yes, I shouldn't think about this. I'm confusing myself. I really am. I know words, leading into the men's and women's changing room, respectively. The two of you head over to the men's side, finding a Spartan and serviceable setup, rows of sturdy metal lockers, a few low benches, and along the back wall, a line of showers, cubicles in which to rinse off. Everyone else has already changed and headed out, affording you and Asterion ample privacy.
So, what do you have in mind, my king?
I think you'll enjoy this. You close your eyes and hum the labyrinth's tune. When the lights of the changing room start flickering, you find your creation resting in your hands. Surprise! With a flourish, you hand over the newly summoned garment, similar to Luke's Speedo, but a good size bigger, and adorned with a different pattern.
Is this?
Yep, go ahead, try it on. You turn around and give Asterion some space to change. In the meantime, you summon swimwear into existence for yourself as well. You already have some in the suitcase back in the room, but, well, why take the time to retrieve it? You'll just have to live with owning a set of two now. A grunt from behind catches your attention, though you remain facing away to focus on making yourself decent. Is something the matter? It's not too much, is it?
No, that's not it. I am grateful, truly, but this material is strange. Is it like silk? It is like silk, but not quite. I never taught the hotel how to make this sort of cloth. What is it?
I'm pretty sure it's a mix of polymer and likely with a lot of nylon in it. It's a sort of artificial fabric that came into fashion around the 50s or something.
Did you write a contract describing this material?
Nope, not me.
Well, whoever did, their sewing skills are impressive, and it shows, even here. Say, do you think Luke ever worked as a tailor?
Do you think it was him?
Who else would put in the time to teach the hotel how to make something like this? Plus, there was no hole for the tail. I noticed Luke preferred, allowing, his to ride over his underwear. You would not know this, but that makes it, sit lower. I am sure it is, intentional on his part.
I never would have guessed. You hear Asterion hum a few bars, then the rustling of fabric and a contented sigh.
This is how I would prefer it. Just, pierce the hole in the backside. Cut it open a bit. Add a button. Make it more comfortable for my tail.
And with the hotel's magic?
Indeed. Much simpler than doing it by hand, though I happen to have a few years of experience with that as well.
Once you've finished putting on your swimsuit and Asterion signals that he is decent as well, you turn around to see how it looks on him.
There.
Looking good, buddy. Asterion further adjusts his speedo, testing out how it feels, until he hears footsteps approaching from outside. His ears flicker once, twice, grow very still, and his back relaxes as he notices the distinct lack of Luke's clicking claws. What's wrong?
That was someone passing by outside just now, and thankfully, it was not Luke. As much as I appreciate him, I would rather not hear what he has to say about you and I changing together.
Yeah, considering all we've been through, this is nothing, but he probably wouldn't let us hear the end of it.
Neither would he understand that my upbringing was a lot more liberal, considering clothing than the norms of today. This so-called Speedo is tighter than what I am used to, but our general attire was just as revealing. But enough of that. Shall we go, my fine lord?
I can probably turn up the volume a little bit. After you, my great friend. Back outside, the ruckus makes quick work of your secrets. Yes, your secret suite atmosphere, leaving the two of you in the midst of all the mundane realities of the hotel. You catch sight of Luke wandering into the shallows, where the coalboats covort? Yeah, covort about in water wings and floaties. The Griffin soon finds himself becoming a participant. That's what that is, participant, in the rambunctious play. Through perhaps victim may be more apt. After a minute or so of watching the commotion, Asterion gives you a sideways glance.
I do have one question. Is this the Greek flag?
Yes, I thought it would be appropriate. Sue me.
I do realize I have no particular allegiance to the mainland Greece, correct? I am Cretan. However, all considered, I do not believe I would feel much connection to the flag of contemporary Crete either.
That's reasonable. Still, it really does look good on you.
It gladdens me very much that you think so. And I truly did wish to fit in with the others. Besides, so I accept your gift. Thank you. Now, shall we go for a swim?
You and Asterion return to the pool side by side, the both of you now dressed for the occasion. You take the Minotaur's towel and your own, and then turn towards the line of the sun, loungers to put them down. Asterion waits for you, patient and expectant, at the poolside. So, how should we do this? Want to just jump in on it?
It is your call. In truth, I'm a little bit rusty. Long has it been since I've had the chance to go swimming.
Well then. Is there no just like quietly go in, or not quietly, but just like more gently go in? I hate jumping into pools, but this seems rude. I don't know, at least the implication of it. But I'll do it anyway. What better opportunity to get yourself back in full form? Me? I think I'll just stay here and watch you. Yeah, that's more me, I guess. I used to be really into, like, swimming, like, as a kid. Not competitively, but just, like, oh, let's go, like, splash around in the pool. Nowadays, I'm kind of like, I'll just sit. Whatever. The day's so nice, and we've been so busy lately. I think I'd like to just relax for a while longer.
Are you sure? Very well, if that is your wish. Thank you for the opportunity to practice, then.
Asterion turns, taking the liberty to drop right in. You, meanwhile, take a seat on the edge and just dunk your legs while watching him swim. It begins simply enough, with Asterion making long, broad strokes. He cuts through the water with far more ease than one would think, given his bulk. When he finishes the lap and returns to your side, he stops to take a breath. The bull does not, however, even attempt to shake the water out of his hair. Perhaps he enjoys feeling, or even studying, the way it drips through his fur. Then off he goes again, faster, with stronger emotions. In these rare moments, when Asterion seems overtaken by a simple, uncommon confidence, he truly is a sight to behold. You recall how Lord Byron also felt freedom and ease in swimming, released from the suffering of clumsy club feet on land. His this bovine poet here must be feeling something similar. After a few more laps, you can't help but notice the waves he is making, large enough to splash up to your wrist now. Waist? Waist, not wrist. How many times have I swapped those words? A lot. Not quite as bad as quickly or quietly, but we're almost there. Others are noticing too, especially those who were trying to use the pool to lounge in. As he comes back your way, you call out, "Hey, I'm glad you're having some..." But he's off again before you can finish. One with the water and off in his own world. Face blank, eyes determined, like a man on a mission or a charging bull. With no other resource, you finally hop into the water yourself. If talking does not work, you will need to take action. As he sweeps towards you again, you lay low and wait for your chance to strike. It comes the moment he turns around at the wall. Your hands dart out, reaching for his hindquarters. All it takes is a firm grip of his sturdy tail for the Minotaur to start tripping over his own hooves, even in the water. Asterion stops dead in his tracks. Out of instinct, he starts to thrash at the unwelcome detention. Then he notices who you are and what he is doing, and grumbles. Bubbles into the water. Okay. Yes, I understand. Okay.
Sir!
His tail wiggling in your grasp as he catches his breath, chest heaving and nostrils flaring from the exertion. Droplets flow down his steep, wide back and fly through the air as they are flicked off of his red-tinted ears. The water in the pool starts to settle, and now that the churning tide has abated? Okay. You're a good swimmer, Asterion. We get it. But you were getting a little too carried away there. Are you okay? He huffs. His breath starts coming in heavy gasps once more.
My apologies, Mr. Josh. I suppose I did get a little carried away. It really has been a long time.
You pat him on the back with a few exasperated glances your way. The staff members resume their activities as though nothing had happened. Why don't we just go over there and calm down for a bit? The two of you rest on the side of the pool, overlooking the valley, taking in the view as Asterion takes in slow, deep, calming breaths. And so, a little bit rusty, huh? If that was you out of practice, I can't imagine how you were in your prime.
Well, centuries have passed since I saw this much water, much less had this opportunity to enjoy it. I suppose that I
missed it. A little grumble crawled up his throat. Bashful. He nods. Well, it's gonna be right here for you to enjoy any time. Though maybe you should save the laps for when it's less crowded. Another nod as he looks around, noticing that the water level seems much lower now. Much of it has overflowed from the basin below, the vanishing edge with all his splashing and wave-making. He hums discreet, instructing the hotel to create more. You look away from the valley and back towards your staff, who continue to enjoy themselves in the cool, refreshing water. Robert keeps himself in the shallow part of the pool. He's tall enough that even perched on the bench built into the wall, the water's surface reaches no higher than his waist. There the demon sits, enjoying a drink. Unconcerned, unbothered by the other's shenanigans, he seems to be wholly at peace with the cosmos and God, making himself the perfect target for Luke's pestering. Robert, my man, what you drinking? The demon looks down to the griffin, who had sidled up to him. He takes a long, slow, considering sip of his drink before answering.
Pina colada. Pina colada. Coda offered to get some drinks for everyone, and I accepted.
And you got a pina colada? Are you shitting me? Now that's a bottom drink if I ever heard of one. Didn't know you liked it up the ass that much, Robert.
Lucas, my usual at the lounge is whiskey on the rocks. I simply figured that this would be more appropriate for the occasion. As for that comment on my preference, I'll have you know that I'm confident enough in mine to drink whatever I please.
After a moment of sputtering, Luke opens his beak to retort and pauses. Furrows his brow, shifting in the water. Smirks as realization dawns upon him. Big talk from the guy who just peed himself.
I beg your pardon.
Beg all you want, hot stuff. I'm playing dumb, but don't think I can't feel the warmth coming out of your bathing suit. Now, I ain't been peed on that many times before, but if that's something you're into, it can be arranged.
Luke, please. I'm a walking furnace. If the water around me is warm, it's not because I urinated.
His attempt at teasing, or perhaps that truly was his idea of earnest flirtation, completely stonewalled. Luke clacks his beak and lets out a squawk of annoyance. You win this time, smartass. My offer still stands, though. Meet ya in the changing room in 10 minutes. The demon takes another sip of his drink. 10 minutes. Changing room. Luke tips the far larger man a sloppy wink, and then finally saunters away, a tail hiked up the and Speedo-clad backside as on full display. Okay. Robert remains where he is, pondering.
Perhaps I could ask Coda for a large bucket full of ice, and although it would be rude to trouble him further. Heavens, what a dilemma.
Kembish floats and paddles as about as far from the vanishing edge as possible. He, ignorant fool, who has never faced war and strife, found laughter in Luke's antics. Like the young man of old, eager to pillage and burn without knowing the weight of taking a life, he approaches to join the bitter cause. Conscripted? Okay. He now marches to recruit Asterion and you in an endeavor most ruinous.
Hey, Mr. Josh, Asterion. We're going to put together a human pyramid. Would you guys like to join us?
Sure, that sounds fun. Asterion?
A human pyramid?
Yes. The heavier people go at the bottom. Support the lighter people on the top on
on their shoulders. It'd be pretty easy to maintain our balance, since we're in the pool.
Asterion flicks his ears, and a smile blooms upon his lips.
Alright, let us try it. Great, come on, we're doing it over here.
Kembish gathers the other interested staff members in an area of open water, about a quarter of the way into the pool, shallow enough for everyone to stand comfortably, but deep enough that no one would get hurt should they fall into the water. Okay, sirs. After some discussion, it is decided that Asterion and Kembish will form the base of the pyramid. The pair move into position and lock their arms together.
That leaves you and me, Mr. Josh. So it's your choice. You want to go top or bottom? Alrighty, guess I'll bottom then.
Right. Luke moves up behind Kembish, using the boar's thick thighs as a step to climb up. Yes.
Those are pretty firm, Bacon Boy. Thought your meat would be more marbled. Oh, just shut up and get into position.
With a squawk of laughter, the Griffin does just that. Once he has taken his place, balancing upon Asterion's and Kembish's shoulders, you climb the Minotaur's back to join him.
So, since it's just the two of us, here's what we're gonna do. I'll get down on all fours, and you climb on top of me. Sound like a plan, boss man?
Sounds like a plan. The moment he does so, however, Kembish lets out a squeal of distress and begins to squirm. Luke's all-American package has landed squarely on the tip of his, snout.
Luke, get that fucking thing off me!
But Luke just breaks out into a fit of hysterical laughter instead. With no other resource, the boar lifts his hands off of Asterion's shoulder to swat the star-spangled bulge away from his face. Luke lets out another squawk as the blow makes him lose his footing. He tries to right himself, but then he just throws you off your balance as well. And so the Tower of Babel falls before it can be completed. Though all has come to ruin, it is carefree laughter which fills the air, and not bitter wailing of grief. After all, no one was truly hurt, and the endeavor itself was an amusing distraction for both participants and observers. Having had your fun, you all clap one another as the on the back to show in show of solidarity and companionship. Then, like the ancient diaspora, from the plain of Shinar, you go your separate ways. Oh, actually, I'll end the part here. This is getting really long. I thought this was gonna be like shorter, but it's fun. I do like it. I'll see you around, everyone.